Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we begin, I want to start with a quick disclaimer. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is based on publicly available sources, news reports, and historical records. This content is not intended to promote or condemn any political figure, government, or ideology. Please watch with an open mind and always verify information from multiple sources. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss videos like this. Today, we're diving deep into the life, career, and legacy of Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, a man whose leadership has shaped modern Russia for over 2 decades and influenced the global political landscape in ways few leaders have. From his early years in post-war Leningrad to his rise through the KGB, his unexpected ascent to the presidency, and his role in major international events, we will cover everything you need to understand the life and influence of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin was born on October 7, 1952, in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, into a modest working-class family. His father, Vladimir Spiridonovich, worked in a factory, and his mother, Maria Ivanovna, was a homemaker. He grew up in a cramped apartment in a city still recovering from the devastation of World War II. Childhood accounts described him as quiet, observant, and resilient, someone who learned early on how to navigate hardship and scarcity. These experiences, combined with the influence of a city steeped in history and political significance, would shape his worldview and approach to power later in life. As a young boy, Putin developed keen interest in sports and physical activity. He became particularly dedicated to judo, which he practiced rigorously, eventually earning a black belt. The discipline, strategic thinking, and focus he gained from martial arts became hallmarks of his leadership style, influencing both his public image and private decision-making. In addition to judo, he was interested in history, politics, and international affairs, showing an early curiosity about how governments operated and how individuals could influence outcomes. After finishing school, Putin enrolled at Leningrad State University, studying law. During his studies, he gravitated toward courses on international law, diplomacy, and political structure, laying the foundation for his future career in intelligence and government. Upon graduation, he joined the KGB, the Soviet Union's security and intelligence agency. His early assignments included rigorous training in espionage, intelligence gathering, and counterintelligence, providing him with skills in surveillance, strategic planning, and operational secrecy. Putin's career in the KGB took him to East Germany, where he worked under the cover of a translator, gaining first-hand experience in international politics and intelligence operations. He witnessed the fall of the Berlin Wall and the collapse of the Eastern Bloc, events that deeply influenced his perception of global power dynamics and the vulnerabilities of nations facing political and economic upheaval. His years in intelligence taught him the importance of networks, loyalty, and strategic thinking, lessons he would carry into his political career. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, Putin transitioned into politics in St. Petersburg, working under Mayor Anatoly Sobchak. He quickly earned a reputation as a capable, disciplined, and pragmatic administrator. He handled economic reform, local governments, and political negotiation with efficiency, building relationships that would later prove invaluable in Moscow. By 1998, Putin had moved to the federal government and was appointed head of the Federal Security Service, the FSB, the successor to the KGB, and soon after became Secretary of the Security Council of Russia. These positions placed him at the center of national security and political strategy, giving him access to critical levers of power. In December 1999, Boris Yeltsin resigned, naming Putin as acting president, a decision that shocked many observers. This unexpected transition allowed Putin to consolidate authority and gain national prominence. In March 2000, he won his first official presidential election, beginning a tenure that would fundamentally reshape Russian politics. From the outset, Putin projected an image of strength, stability, and decisiveness, promising to restore order after the tumultuous years following the collapse of the Soviet Union. During his early presidency, Putin focused on stabilizing Russia's economy, centralizing power, and asserting authority over regional governments and strategic industries. Rising oil and gas prices allowed him to invest in infrastructure, military modernization, and social programs, improving the material conditions for many Russians. While supporters praised these achievements, critics argued that he simultaneously curtailed political freedoms, restricted independent media, and marginalized opposition parties, creating a system where dissent was limited and loyalty to the Kremlin was essential for survival in politics. Putin's political style has always been highly strategic. He carefully orchestrated elections, public appearances, and messaging to maintain control while projecting an image of competence and national pride. Opposition voices were often silenced through legal mechanisms, exile, or imprisonment, while the media largely reflected the state's perspective. This approach allowed him to survive crises, navigate public discontent, and maintain authority over a country with a complex and often fractious political landscape. One of the defining features of Putin's leadership has been his approach to foreign policy. He has emphasized Russian sovereignty, national pride, and global influence. Key international events during his tenure include the Second Chechen War, the annexation of Crimea in 2014, military involvement in Syria, tensions with NATO, and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. These actions have drawn significant international criticism, sanctions, and diplomatic isolation from Western nations, while simultaneously reinforcing his domestic image as a decisive leader, defending Russian interests against foreign pressure. Putin's economic policies have been closely tied to Russia's natural resources. The country's dependence on oil and gas exports has provided significant revenue, enabling modernization in certain sectors and funding social programs. However, sanctions, fluctuations in global energy markets, and structural economic challenges have created periods of difficulty. Critics argue that wealth inequality, corruption, and limited diversification have remained persistent challenges under Putin's leadership, even as certain segments of society have benefited from economic stabilization and growth. Throughout his tenure, Putin has cultivated a strong public image, combining calculated public appearances, control of media messaging, and carefully staged displays of personal strength, endurance, and resilience, which have become key components of his public persona. Behind this carefully constructed image, however, lie complex domestic pressures, including political dissent, economic uncertainty, and regional disparities. Protests have periodically erupted under Putin's rule, often driven by concerns over corruption, political repression, or economic inequality. Government responses have ranged from negotiation to harsh crackdowns, including arrests, fines, and other measures to suppress dissent. Opposition figures, journalists, and activists have faced legal and political pressures, creating a climate in which open political competition is limited. Despite this, Putin has remained remarkably resilient, maintaining high approval ratings in certain regions and among specific demographics, especially those who value stability and strong leadership. Internationally, Putin has skillfully balanced confrontation and cooperation. He has strengthened partnerships with countries such as China, India, and Iran, while asserting Russia's interests in Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. Energy exports have been used both as economic leverage and geopolitical tools. Military interventions, including in Ukraine and Syria, have showcased Russia's capabilities while challenging Western influence. This combination of assertive foreign policy, strategic alliances, and domestic control has cemented Putin's status as one of the most influential leaders of the 21st century. Putin's personal life has also been a subject of public fascination. While he maintains a carefully guarded private life, he is known for his love of sports, judo, horseback riding, and outdoor activities. His family life, including his marriage and children, has largely been kept out of the public eye, reinforcing his image of a disciplined and focused leader. He has also used personal storytelling, media appearances, and public stunts to convey strength, endurance, and resilience, which had become key components of his public persona.
As of 2026, Putin continues to shape Russia's domestic and international policy. His legacy is complex, combining achievements in restoring Russia's global influence with criticism regarding authoritarianism, limitations on political freedom, and social inequality. Analysts continue to debate whether his long tenure has strengthened the country, consolidated power effectively, or created long-term vulnerabilities. Regardless of perspective, there's no doubt that Putin has profoundly impacted both Russia and the global political landscape. So, what do you think about Vladimir Putin's legacy? Is he a visionary leader who restored Russia's strength and influence, or a controversial figure whose leadership has created domestic limitations and global tension? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment down below. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so we can continue producing high-quality content about world leaders, history, and global politics. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.